forward to joining you.
Something is not right. The holodeck is malfunctioning. We need to find a way to stop the program.
Number 2. Assemble an away team. We're going to Omara to destroy the artifact that has taken control of our ship.
Captain, we've been expecting you. The artifact is inside that container. But be warned, it has already taken control of 2 members of our team.
On behalf of the crew of the USS Endeavour, I would like to thank InfiniTV for sponsoring this episode. Live long and prosper.
Gentlemen, welcome to the presidential debate. Let's start with a serious question. Can you explain the entirety of Noam Chomsky's theory of manufacturing consent?
What a stupid question. Chomsky is a hack. He's just jealous of my beautiful brown color.
Jealous? You're the one filled with poop. I bet Chomsky would have a lot to say about your manufacturing odor.
Hey, at least I don't smell like a giant smelly sock.
Oh please, you're just a dried up old piece of crap.
Gentlemen, let's stay on topic. Moving on, how would you tackle the issue of climate change?
Climate change? More like climate change because you people are all chained to Al Gore's stupid ideas.
Yeah, and you're all chained to your own forts, Mr. Stinky Brown.
Oh, that's rich coming from the giant issues always leaking.
Hey, I'm not the one who's always full of crap.
This is getting out of hand. Let's take a question from the audience.
Oh, yeah. Which one of you is the bigger moron?
Clearly it's giant douche over here. He's so big, his brains are probably the size of a pea.
And you're the one who's all dried up and crusty like your brain.
Okay, that's enough of that. Final question, what are your plans for education reform?
Education reform? Huh, why bother? All you need to know is how to make a sandwich.
Oh, and I suppose all you need to know is how to take a dump and call it politics.
That's it, I've had enough. This debate is over. Good luck to the American people.
Lenny, I have a new idea for a game. It would be very educational.
Alright, what is it?
It's called Chip-a-Chipment Chemistry.
That doesn't sound educational.
Oh, well you see, 2 players will take turns adding elements to a molecule and the last one to make it unstable wins.
I don't think that makes sense.
Oh, but it does. It is simple, yet complex.
Alright, I'm game.
What's going on here?
Felden has invented a new game.
It's called Chipper-Chipmunk Chemistry.
Yes, it's very educational.
Sounds like you're going to have a lot of fun.
I'm still not sure what it's about.
I think we should all play.
Absolutely.
Great.
Captain's log, stardate 47622.1. The Endeavour is en route to the planet Alvar IV to assist with their agriculture efforts. Our mission is to deliver necessary supplies and offer any aid needed. Hopefully, this will be a routine mission without any hiccups. Mr. Worm, what is the status of Alvar IV's communications system?
The system is currently offline, Captain. It appears there may have been a malfunction caused by a recent ion storm. We are attempting to establish communication through other means.
Counselor Inouye, please try to establish empathic contact with the planet's inhabitants. Let's see if we can get any sense of their current state. Number 2. Any update on the status of the planet's inhabitants?
Sir, we've managed to establish communication with one of the planet's leaders. They've reported a dire situation. Most of the crops have been destroyed by a recent storm, and they're on the brink of starvation. They're requesting immediate assistance.
Set a course for Alvar IV. Warp Factor 5, Mr. Beta. Hail the planet. Let's make sure they know we're here to help.
I'm not receiving any response, Captain. It's possible their communication system is still malfunctioning.
I understand your concerns, but I assure you, we are here to help. We have supplies to offer and personnel who can assist with attempts to recover any crops that may still be viable. We are being hailed, Captain. It's the planet's leader. I'm sorry, Captain, but we cannot accept your assistance. Our people believe you are here to do harm. They believe you have fired on our defenseless citizens. Captain, I can verify that we have not fired on any defenseless people. Perhaps there is some misunderstanding. Captain, it's true. We have eyewitness reports of your ship firing on innocent people. You are not welcome here. Captain, scans show no evidence of any recent phaser activity on the planet. I believe their accusations are unfounded. Captain, I found something. These crops show evidence of phaser damage. It looks like someone fired on them from orbit.
Captain, I believe I've located the source of the phaser blasts. They appear to have come from a cloaked Romulan warbird in orbit.
I believe we owe you an apology, Captain. We were mistaken about your intentions. We didn't realize there was another ship in orbit. Captain's Log Supplemental. We have resolved the misunderstanding with the people of Alvar IV. The Romulan warbird has since cloaked and disappeared from our scan. There is no further action we can take at this time. We will continue to offer any assistance needed by the people of Alvar IV.
Welcome to the 2024 presidential debate. Our candidates tonight are the Turd Sandwich and the Giant Douche. Let's start with our first question. What is your plan to address climate change?
Oh, I see we are starting with easy questions. Well, let me tell you, the Giant Douche has no clue about climate change.
He probably thinks it's a new flavor of Gatorade.
Oh please, Turd Sandwich, you wouldn't know a carbon footprint if it stepped on your head.
At least I'm not a giant waste of water, like you, Giant Douche.
Hey, I may use a lot of water, but at least I don't stink up the whole room like a certain sandwich.
Oh, candidates, could we please focus on the question at hand?
Oh, right. Climate change. Well, let me tell you, I have a plan. It involves rainbows and unicorns and...
Oh, please. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
You're ridiculous. Your hair looks like a squirrel's nest.
Oh yeah. Well, your face looks like a moldy piece of bread.
Okay. Let's take a breather here. Can we please get back to the question?
Fine. My plan to address climate change is simple. We'll just blow it away with a giant fan.
You're kidding, right? That's your plan.
Hey, it's better than whatever rainbow and unicorn nonsense you're spouting.
Alright, let's move on to the next question. What is your position on healthcare reform? Oh boy, here we go. Well, let me tell you, the giant douche has no idea how to fix our healthcare system. He probably thinks Obamacare is a type of sandwich.
Oh please, turd sandwich. You probably think a band-aid is the cure for cancer.
Hey, that's not fair. And for your information, my healthcare plan involves magic beans and...
Magic beans. Really? That's your big idea.
At least I have ideas. You're just a big useless. Gentlemen, please. This is a serious debate.
Serious? This is a joke.
Hey, I heard that. You know what you are. You're a big, fat. Okay, that's enough. I think we've heard enough from both candidates tonight. Thank you for joining us, and good luck to you both in the election. Good morning, Lenny.
Morning, Felden.
I was doing some calculations this morning and discovered that the universe is running out of energy.
That's not a very comforting thought.
Don't worry, I had devised a solution. All we have to do is find a new source of energy and the universe will be saved.
That's easier said than done.
Hey guys, what are you talking about?
We're trying to find a new source of energy to save the universe.
Sounds like a tall order.
Did somebody say something about the universe?
Yes, Roger said we are trying to solve the energy crisis in the universe.
That's impossible.
Actually, it's entirely possible, Radget.
We were just discussing our possible solutions.
Very well, let's get started.
Captain's Log, Stardate 46982.1. Our mission to explore the Gamma Quadrant has led us to a mysterious anomaly. We've detected a strange energy redden that seems to be affecting our ship's warp engine.
George, have you tried using the new environmental controls to power the warp engine?
Pikachu.
I'm not sure what you mean, Beta. We can't power the warp engine with electricity.
Number 2. What's the status of the warp engine?
It's still not functioning properly, sir. We're losing speed.
What if we try using a different source of energy?
Wait a minute. I think I have an idea.
Pikachu.
Yes, Beta. You heard me right. I'm going to use my forts to power the warp engine.
I must admit, number 2, I never thought I'd hear George suggest using his bodily functions to power our ship.
Okay, Beta. I'm going to need your help on this one. I need you to push this button when I tell you to.
Pikachu.
What just happened, number 2?
It looks like George's idea worked, sir. The warp engine is functioning again.
Well done, George. You've saved the day with your unconventional method.
Thank you for watching this episode of Space Ride, TIG, sponsored by InfiniTV. Live long and prosper.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second presidential debate between our two candidates, Turd Sandwich and Giant Douche. This is going to be a different kind of debate. It's Freaky Friday, and the candidates are going to swap bodies. So, let's get started. Turd Sandwich, what is your favourite flavour of jelly bean?
Well, I like all flavors of jelly beans, but if I had to choose, I'd say the green ones.
Green. Are you kidding me? Green is the worst flavor. Everyone knows that the best flavor is blue.
Oh please, blue is the color of depression. No wonder nobody votes for you.
At least I don't stink as much as you do.
Hey, at least I'm not a sellout like you. You're just a corporate puppet.
Oh, look who's talking.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. Giant Douche, if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be?
A pine tree, of course. I'm tall and majestic.
You, tall and majestic, more like short and puny. If you were a tree, you'd be a bonsai.
Oh yeah. Well, if you were a tree, you'd be a dead one.
Ho ho ho, real mature.
Alright, let's take a question from the audience. Sir, what is your question for the candidates?
Yes, hello. I was wondering, if you were a superhero, what would your superpower be?
My superpower would be the ability to make people smell better.
And my superpower would be the ability to make people clean up their filthy minds.
You mean like yours?
Hey, don't talk about my mind. It's a very clean mind.
Yeah, clean like a sewer.
Alright, that's enough of that. Let's move on to the next question. Turd Sandwich, if you were a vegetable, what kind of vegetable would you be?
Well, I'd have to say I'd be a carrot. I'm bright and optimistic.
Carrot. More like a turnip. You're dull and boring.
Oh yeah, well, you're a giant douche.
And you're a turd sandwich.
Alright, that's enough. Let's wrap this up. Thank you, Turd Sandwich and Giant Douche, for this lively debate on Freaky Friday. And thank you, Ashniak Silom, for sponsoring this episode.
Alright, we can start the meeting. Everyone, this is Lisa and James. We invited them to join our group.
Hi Lisa and James, welcome.
Hey Lisa and James, why don't you grab a seat? We don't bite, I promise.
Do they have to sit that close to me?
Ratchet, be civil.
It's okay, I don't mind.
Great, so Lisa and James, what do you think of our group?
Well, don't tell anyone, but I think it's really cool.
Ah, that's so kind.
Anyways, I think Lisa should start first. So Lisa, why did you decide to join us today?
Well, I heard great things about you and wanted to come check it out myself.
Splendid, glad to hear that you are interested.
Felden, don't scare them away.
Oh, I thought I was being welcoming.
It's okay, I'm still here.
Great, so now that we are settled in, let's talk about what we should do first.
Cool.
Cancel recording.
Captain, we have arrived at Luminara.
Very good, number 2. Mr. Beta, please hail the planet.
Captain, I am detecting unusual energy readings from the planet's surface.
Explained.
The energy signatures appear to be unstable and fluctuating rapidly. I would advise caution upon our approach.
Number 2, please take a team down to the planet's surface and investigate.
Worm, use your tricorder to analyze the formation.
Sir, the formation appears to be a natural crystal formation, but the energy readings are certainly abnormal.
Commander, I have found something of interest here.
What is it, Mr. Beta?
There appears to be a small opening in the crystal formation. It leads to an underground cavern system.
Commander, we have a problem.
What is it, George?
Beta accidentally put a hole in the wall, and it's causing a draft. If we don't fix it soon, everyone is going to be sucked out into space.
All right, let's get to work. Worm, open a channel to the Endeavour.
Commander, I've got a plan. We can use the ship's tractor beam to seal the hole from the outside.
Good thinking, Barclay. Ensign Rowe, set a course for the planet and engage the tractor beam.
We are almost there, but we're going to need some help from the Endeavour.
We're in position, George. You've got the green light.
We're ready, Ensign. Do it.
Well done, Ensign.
Have the away team report back for transport.
Report number 2.
We had a little mishap down there, Captain, but the away team handled it just fine.
Very good, number 2. Set a course for our next destination.
Good evening, and welcome to the presidential debate between our two candidates, the Turd Sandwich and the Giant Douche. Gentlemen, our first topic tonight is Fortnite squads with the bros. Turd Sandwich, how would you describe your Fortnite skills?
Let me tell you, I am the greatest Fortnite player in the history of Fortnite. Nobody can beat me, not even a giant douche like you. Huh, that's hilarious coming from someone who can't even figure out how to properly wipe their own ass.
Okay, moving on then. Giant Douche, what is your favorite type of chips to snack on while gaming with your bros?
I don't snack on chips, I only feast on the tears of Turd Sandwich's mom when I kick his sorry ass in Fortnite.
My mom can beat you any day, Datchabuk. Interesting. So, let's talk about the future of our country's education system. Turd Sandwich, what are your plans for improving our schools? Well, I think it's important to teach kids how to build forts in Fortnite. That's a valuable life skill, and I'm an expert in that field.
Huh, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You probably couldn't even build a sandcastle if your life depended on it.
Hey, at least I don't smell like a giant pile of crap like you.
Yeah, well, at least I don't taste like a stale piece of bread like you do.
Alright, I think that's enough for tonight. Any final thoughts, gentlemen? I just want to give a shout out to all my bros out there. Keep playing Fortnite and keep being awesome.
And I want to say thanks to all the ladies who love a man with a massive douche.
This has been quite an interesting debate. Thank you all for tuning in. Lenny, guess who stopped by our apartment today?
Who?
Metallic.
What in the world are you talking about?
Metallic stopped by.
Is this some sort of pun?
No, I'm telling you that a small metal disc with a picture of Metallic on it actually stopped by today.
You are insane if you think I believe you.
Just come over here and you will see that I'm telling the truth.
Alright, alright.
Look.
Wow, how did that get here?
I would like to know the same thing.
Captain's log, stardate 46982.1. We have just arrived at planet Takanoa, where we will be meeting with a delegation of Japanese scientists. Beta, I need you to help me find a suitable outfit for our meeting with the delegation.
Of course, Captain.
Hey, can I join your game?
No way, you're such a noob.
Captain, I suggest you try this Japanese schoolgirl outfit.
Really, Beta? I don't think this is appropriate.
It is traditional Japanese attire, Captain.
Very well, let's go with this. Good morning, my senpai.
Excuse me, Captain.
Captain Billiard, it is an honor to meet you.
Computer in program.
Well done, everyone. Another successful mission.
Captain, may I thank InfiniTV for sponsoring this episode?
Yes, Beta. That's a good idea. Thank you, InfiniTV, for sponsoring this episode.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's presidential debate between the turd sandwich and the giant douche. Let's begin with science.
Feldon, from the Big Bang Theory, asks Turd Sandwich what are his plans for science.
Thank you, moderator. Turd Sandwich, what are your plans for advancing science and technology in the United States?
Look, Feldon, let me tell you something. I know science better than anyone.
The best science? I mean, have you seen my bathroom? That's where all the science happens.
Yeah, right. More like pseudoscience. Your toilet is so clogged with lies and incoherent ramblings that it could be used as evidence in a psychiatric evaluation.
Oh yeah, well, you're a giant douche. Gentlemen, please stick to the topic.
Feldon, do you have a follow-up question?
Well, yes, but I don't think it matters now. Okay, let's move on to the economy.
Oh no. I want to talk more about science. Did you know that the Earth is flat?
It's true, folks. All these scientists are lying to you.
Oh great, here we go again. I don't know what's more insulting to science, your ridiculous beliefs or your lack of basic knowledge about the scientific method.
Hey, you take that back. You are the one who's a piece of fecal matter. Can we please move on to the next topic?
I have a topic. Giant douche, why are you such giant douche?
And here I thought we were trying to have a serious conversation. You know, turd sandwich, you're the one who often smells like sewage. Do you actually eat turd sandwiches or is that just your preferred scent?
I think that's enough for tonight. Thank you to our candidates for nothing.
Good night, everyone.
All right, Lenny, I have gathered all of the materials I will need to prove the existence of ghosts.
That's impossible, Feldon. Ghosts don't exist.
Aha, that's exactly what I plan to prove wrong. Now watch closely, Lenny.
Why don't you call this the Ghostbuster Project and look at us in our proton packs?
Yeah, that is a much better idea.
No, this isn't a joke. I intend to prove ghostly presences scientifically and rationally.
Well, that sounds like a great idea. What do you plan to do?
I have rigged up a set of electromagnetic coils, infrared cameras, and a modified Farnsworth box. My hypothesis is that ghosts are simply electromagnetic energy, and I will detect the energy using my modified instruments.
I honestly don't think this is going to work, Feldon.
I'm sure it won't, but Feldon won't be happy until he tries.
Alright, here goes everything. Let the ghostbusting begin.
Oh boy.
Feldon and Lenny's apartment. The gang is sitting in the living room.
Guys, I had a dream last night.
Was it a naughty dream?
Please Radget it. Let's keep this conversation PG.
What was the dream about, Lenny?
I dreamt of owning a self-driving solar-powered RV.
Wow, that's so cool. You can go on road trips and not worry about gas.
Exactly. And the self-driving feature means I don't have to worry about driving fatigue.
And with the solar panels, you'll be able to charge your devices and equipment without overloading the system.
I think he likes your dream.
Yeah, he does.
I prefer tuk-tuk. Less gas, more sustainable, and they're so cute.
Radget, did you itch your head or something?
What? Tuk-tuks are the best.
They are not practical outside of South Asian countries. Radget.
Guys, let's focus on my dream.
Yeah, let's hear more about the solar panels. How long do they last?
Well, according to my calculations.
Can we talk about the RV's color? I think it should be pink.
I'll get it. Oh, hey guys. Ashmanixis alum sponsored this episode.
Wait, so we're getting paid? Right, we're just thanking them. Got it.
Captain's Log, Stardate 45376.3. The Endeavour is en route to the Gamma Quadrant to establish diplomatic relations with a new species. However, as we travel towards our destination, I feel a strange sense of disorientation and confusion. I cannot seem to shake it off.
He seems to be suffering from a concussion. He's disoriented and thinks he's a little girl.
I've run all the necessary scans, but I can't find any physical injuries. It's possible that this is a side effect of the concussion.
Captain, can you tell us what you remember before you started feeling disoriented?
I remember running down a hallway and then everything went black. When I woke up, I was in sickbay. George, can you come to sickbay? I need to smell your farts.
Captain, I'm not sure I understand.
Of course, sir. In what way?
I need you to insert something into your buttocks.
I'm sorry, sir, but
Just do it, Beta. It's an emergency. I feel much better now. Thank you, Dr. Counselor.
Captain, would you mind telling us what happened?
I'm not entirely sure, but I do remember feeling very confused and lost. I'm just glad to be back to myself again.
All the scans are normal now, Captain. You should be able to return to your duties in a few hours.
Thank you, Doctor. I appreciate it.
Welcome to tonight's presidential debate between our two esteemed candidates, the turd sandwich and the giant douche. To begin with, how do you plan on solving the issue of the Prince of Canada farting on everybody?
Well, let me just say, the Prince of Canada is a great guy and he deserves to fart on whoever he wants.
It's a natural bodily function, you can't deny that.
Excuse me, but I have to disagree with my opponent on this one. Farting on people is just plain rude and uncalled for. The Prince should apologize and use air freshener.
Oh yeah. Well, your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. Let's move on to another issue. How do you plan on handling the problem of Bigfoot stealing people's socks?
I am outraged by this. Bigfoot needs to be caught and brought to justice. It's a shame that my opponent doesn't seem to care about people's missing socks.
That's just ridiculous. Bigfoot is a gentle giant and he would never do something like that. But if he did, I'd give him a pat on the back and a high five. Interesting approach. Now, the world has been overrun by zombie robots. What is your plan to defeat them?
I say we let the zombies do what they do best and just give them a bunch of tacos.
They'll be too busy eating to attack anyone.
No. We need to assemble a team of superheroes to take down the zombie robots. And I know just the guy for the job, Emmy.
You get your cape stuck in a tree branch and tripped before you even got close to the zombies.
We have time for one last question from the audience.
Yeah, hi. I was just wondering, do either of you know how to dance the cha-cha?
Of course, I am a master of the cha-cha.
Oh, like you'd know the cha-cha from the marina. I could teach you a few moves if you want. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight's debate. Thank you, candidates, for your insightful and entertaining responses. Remember to vote for the lesser of two evils or not at all.
You don't know how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Of course I do, I'm just not sure why you would want one.
I guess I'm just feeling nostalgic.
Well, I've got that covered.
I'll take 2.
I'll take 3.
I don't know, this does not sound very nutritious.
Yes, but the gesture to before is quite appealing.
Ugh, the things we do for the people we love, right?
All right, who's ready to eat?
Captain's log, stardate 45652.1. We are on our way to meet with esteemed entrepreneur Elon Musk, who has requested our assistance with his Starlink project. Little is known about the nature of the problem, but I am confident we can offer our expertise and aid in any way possible.
Captain, we have arrived at our destination and await your orders.
Patch me through to Mr. Musk, please.
They're ready for you, Captain.
Mr. Musk, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. How can we assist you today?
Thank you, Captain. As you know, the Starlink project utilizes a constellation of satellites to provide internet access to even the most remote areas of the world. However, we've been experiencing some interference in the network that we just can't seem to trace. We were hoping you could lend us some insight and expertise in this matter.
We would be more than happy to help. Our crew is well versed in matters of interference and signal loss. However, may I ask, have you noticed any patterns or specific areas where the interference occurs?
Yes, that's the strange thing. It seems to be occurring randomly, without any rhyme or reason. It's causing quite a disruption in our services, and we need to get to the bottom of it as soon as possible.
Captain, I may have a solution to the problem. Can I suggest that we examine the recent records on the Starlink network to obtain more specific data?
It appears as though Commander Beta may have a possible solution. If it's all right with you, Mr. Musk, we'd like to review the records of the Starlink network to gain some insight into the interference you're experiencing.
Please, Captain, do whatever you think is necessary to help us solve this problem. It's become quite the headache.
Captain, after analyzing the information from the Starlink network, I believe I have found what is causing the interference. It appears to be coming from a rogue satellite, which has become unstable and is emitting excess radiation that has disrupted the network.
Mr. Musk, after much investigation, we have discovered the source of your interference. It appears as though a rogue satellite in your network has become unstable and is disrupting the entire system with excess radiation.
Thank you so much, Captain. Your crew truly is remarkable. We'd never have been able to solve this problem without your help.
It was our pleasure, Mr. Musk. We're always here to assist those in need. Safe travels to you and your team. Set a course for home, Mr. Daniels. Engage at warp factor 4.
Aye, Captain. Course laid in, warp engines online. Engaging at warp factor 4.
Captain's log, stardate 45944.1. We are en route to a distant sector of the galaxy to investigate a strange energy field that has been detected. Our sensors indicate that the energy field is emanating from an unknown planet. Our mission is to gather information and report back to Starfleet.
Captain, I have detected an unusual reading coming from the planet. It appears to be a form of communication, but it is not like anything we have ever encountered.
Can you determine the source of the communication, Mr. Beta?
Negative, Captain. The signal is highly fragmented and distorted, making it difficult to pinpoint the origin. However, it appears to be increasing in frequency and intensity.
Captain, we are picking up the strange energy signature coming from the planet. It does not match anything in our database.
Can we get a visual on the planet, Mr. Worm?
Negative, Captain. The energy field surrounding the planet is interfering with our senses. We cannot get a clear image.
All right, everyone. We need to find a way to penetrate that energy field and get a closer look at that planet. Ideas, please.
FOOLISHHUMNS CESEYOURTTMPTSTOPNETRTMYDOMIN.
Who are you? What do you want?
I am CTHULU. IHVECOMETOCLINTHISSHIPNDITSCREWSMYOWN.
All hands, prepare for battle. We are not going to let this creature take our ship. Captain's Log, Stardate 45945.2. After a long and difficult battle, we have managed to repel Cthulhu and continue with our mission. We will continue to explore this strange new world and report back to Starfleet. End log. Begin recording. Captain's Log, Stardate 46179.6. We are en route to the Klingon homeworld to attend the annual coronation ceremony of the new High Chancellor. Our mission is one of peace and diplomacy, as ever. However, tensions run high following the recent dissolution of Lenny and Felden's roommate agreement. I fear that if we do not find a way to solve this problem, it could have grave consequences for the crew.
Captain, we're approaching the Klingon homeworld.
Thank you, number 2. Take us into orbit and open hailing frequencies. Let's hope that our diplomatic efforts are successful. Greetings, High Chancellor. We come in peace to honor the traditions of your people and continue our alliance.
Yes, honor tradition. But what of your own people? Word has reached us of your crew's turmoil.
We are aware of the situation, but we believe that our mission is too important to be derailed by personal conflicts. We will do everything in our power to ensure that we represent Starfleet with the utmost professionalism and respect.
I don't see why we can't just remain civil for the remainder of the trip. We don't have to be friends, but we do have to coexist.
Civil. You told me to get out of your sight as soon as we disembarked. I can't believe you would do this to me, after all these years.
Do what to you? We had a perfectly valid roommate agreement, which you violated. I had no choice but to dissolve it.
It seems the latest readings indicate that the Klingons have a unique medical technology which may be useful for the Endeavor's medical bay.
That's great news, but we have to be careful not to offend them by appearing too eager to get our hands on their tech.
I have one final question for you, Captain. Can your crew put aside their personal grievances for the sake of our alliance?
I have no doubt that they will be able to conduct themselves with honor and dignity as is required of representatives of Starfleet.
You were right. The agreement was unfair to you. I should have recognized that. I apologize.
Apology accepted. We can't afford to let our personal issues affect our performance as part of the Endeavor crew.
Very well, Captain. We look forward to a successful and prosperous alliance.
Thank you, High Chancellor. May your new reign be one of honor and strength. End recording. It appears that our mission was a success, thanks to the efforts of the entire crew, and perhaps, in some small way, the resolution of Lenny and Felden's dispute played a part as well. Whatever the case may be, we have all demonstrated our ability to rise above personal conflicts for the greater good. Captain's Log, SART 848-14.2. The Endeavour has been undergoing routine maintenance for the past 3 days. The crew has been working tirelessly to ensure that everything is in good working order. However, I am troubled by the fact that Commander Stryker has been absent from duty for the past 24 hours. I have yet to receive an explanation for his absence.
Commander Stryker is currently in his quarters.
Thank you, computer. Talk to Stryker, please.
Captain, I'm sorry, but I'm not available right now.
What do you mean, you're not available? You're the first officer of this ship. Your absence is causing problems.
I'm on strike, Captain.
I've had enough of the long hours and the constant demands.
On strike. This is not a labor situation, Commander.
It is for me, Captain. I demand better working conditions and more time off.
I cannot grant your demands, Commander. The safety and efficiency of the ship are at stake.
Then I suppose I'll just have to remain on strike until my demands are met.
You leave me no choice, Commander. I will have to relieve you of your duties until this matter is resolved.
Very well, Captain. I'll be in my quarters if you need me.
I understand their feelings, Counselor, but we cannot let one crew member dictate the operations of the ship. I appreciate your analysis, Beta. However, we cannot afford to give in to his demands. The safety of the ship and the crew are at stake.
Of course, Counselor. What brings you here? I appreciate your concern, Counselor, but I am afraid my mind is made up. I know, Counselor, but I feel like I have no other choice. The demands placed upon me are too great.
I'm listening, Commander.
I would like more time off and more reasonable working hours.
I believe this will help me to perform my duties more effectively.
Very well, Commander. I will consider your request. But in the meantime, you are to return to duty immediately.
Lenny, what is all this equipment?
Well, it's all part of my electronic sports setup.
Electronic sports?
Is that like Dungeons and Dragons for computer geeks?
Not exactly, it's more like intense gaming tournaments that people watch on TV or stream online.
Oh, I heard about this. It's like professional gaming.
Hey, that might be the closest I'll ever get to being a professional athlete.
So, what game are you playing?
I'm playing Halo 4.
What kind of medals will you win for playing a video game?
Well, the tournament has a pretty big prize pool, so it doesn't have to be a gold medal to be worthwhile.
We should all play this game. Maybe we could win something big.
Now that's an idea I can get behind.
Captain Billiard recording his captain's log. Stardate 45652.8. We have received a distress signal from the research outpost on planet Valt. Our mission is to determine the nature of the distress and assist the researchers if necessary. We are proceeding at maximum warp and we should arrive at the outpost in 6 hours.
Captain, I suggest we split up into 2 teams to cover more ground. I would like to lead one of the teams.
Agreed, Mr. Beta. You will lead one team while Commander Stryker leads the other. Worm will accompany you on your team.
Mr. Beta, I understand you want to learn how to be an alpha male. Perhaps I can teach you a few things.
Thank you, Lieutenant. I am eager to learn.
Why do I always lose? It's not fair.
Well, you know what they say, practice makes perfect. Maybe you just need more time to get better.
What is your advice, Lieutenant?
Being an alpha male is not just about brute strength, Mr. Beta. It's about confidence, leadership, and the ability to make tough decisions.
I understand, Lieutenant. I will do my best to learn from you.
Good. Remember, confidence is key. Keep your chin up and your back straight. Stand your ground when necessary, but also know when to retreat.
Report, Mr. Beta. Have you found anything?
Negative, Commander. Our search has been fruitless. There appears to be no sign of the distress signal.
I did it. I won.
Congratulations. See, I told you practice makes perfect.
Anything to report, Mr. Beta?
Yes, Captain. We have discovered the reason for the distress signal. The laboratory contains an experiment gone wrong, a serum that has been contaminated and is now a danger to the researchers.
This is where you show your leadership abilities, Mr. Beta. What do you suggest we do?
I suggest we evacuate the outpost immediately and alert Starfleet of the danger. We will need to exercise caution and keep the contaminated serum contained.
Well done, Lieutenant. It appears you have learned well from Mr. Worm, and you, Mr. Beta, have shown excellent leadership skills.
Thank you for watching this episode of Space Ride, TIG, sponsored by InfiniTV. Tune in next week for another new adventure.
Captain's Log, Stardate 45852.1. We are on a routine mission to survey a distant system. However, we have encountered a peculiar problem. Lieutenant Commander Beta seems to be stuck in a loop attempting to solve a rather absurd problem.
Captain, we have received a distress signal from a nearby planet.
They are experiencing a power shortage and require our assistance to change a light bulb in their main power station.
Captain, I have been trying to calculate the answer to the question how many surrealists does it take to change a light bulb for the past 47.3 minutes. Unfortunately, I am stuck in a loop and cannot find a solution. I require assistance.
Beta, we have received a distress signal from a nearby planet that needs our help. Perhaps getting our hands dirty and helping with a practical problem will break you out of this loop. Stryker, set a course for the planet.
Captain, the light bulb in the power station is unlike anything we have seen before. It requires 3 surrealists to change it. The locals have agreed to help, but they require us to answer a riddle.
What is the riddle, George?
I have constructed a list of possible riddles based on the local culture's mythology. Allow me to access this, worm. Ah, here it is. What can be seen once in a minute, twice in a moment, and never in 1,000 years?
Captain, we have to hurry. Our energy reserves are running low, and the planet's wildlife seems to be getting agitated.
What is the answer to the riddle, George? Excellent work, George. Let's relay that to the locals.
Captain, I have successfully helped to change the light bulb, and my circuitry is no longer stuck in a loop. It appears that practical application has broken me out of it.
Well done, Beta. Let's beam back up to the ship and continue with our mission. But before we depart, I want to give a special thanks to Shinazuka for sponsoring this episode.
Thank you, Shinazuka.
Captain's Log, Stardate 47311.3. We are en route to the Gamma Quadrant to meet with our allies. However, we have encountered a strange interference on our Wi-Fi signal. Lafart is attempting to fix the issue, but I fear it may be more complicated than we first thought. Set course for the Gamma Quadrant. Maximum warp.
Aye, Captain.
I've never seen anything like this. The interference is coming from somewhere within the ship's systems.
Can you fix it yet, Mr. Lawford? I can't play Minecraft with this interference.
I'm working on it, Presley. But this is no ordinary interference. I've tried everything, even using my forts to try and dislodge any blockages, but it's only made things worse.
Report, Mr. Beta. Captain, we have encountered a spatial anomaly. The ship's systems are being overloaded.
Red alert. All hands to battle stations.
We can't hold this for long, Captain.
We have to find a way to boost the signal and disable the interference at the same time. Mr. Lafart, I need your expertise on this.
I think I've got it. If we route power from the auxiliary systems to the comm array, we should be able to boost the signal and disable the interference simultaneously.
Report, Mr. Beta.
The interference has been neutralized, and the ship is stabilizing.
Resume course for the Gamma Quadrant. Excellent work, everyone. I believe it's time we thanked our sponsors for their support. Ashmanixasilam, we couldn't have done it without you. Captain's Log, Stardate 47988.1. We are en route to the system designated as YTYM 14273 for a routine survey mission. However, I find myself contemplating a philosophical question that has been on my mind for some time now. Is there a possibility that we are living in a simulation?
Captain, we have received a priority message from Starfleet Command. It seems that there is a problem on the planet YTYM 14273. They are requesting assistance from the Endeavour.
Thank you, Number 2. It seems we have a mystery to solve. Let's go to the bridge. Lieutenant, please give us an update on the situation on YTYM 14273.
Captain, the planet is in its pre-industrial age, but they have been experiencing a series of natural disasters. It looks like they need our help to repair their infrastructure.
Ensign, set a course for YTYM 14273, Warp 7. Mr. Lafart, do we have any idea what's causing these natural disasters?
Captain, it seems like there is an unusual concentration of dilithium crystals on this planet. They seem to be unstable, causing seismic activity and other natural phenomena.
Captain, this is a routine mission. There is no need to worry about philosophical questions. We'll have this situation under control in no time.
Mr. Beta, can we create a field around the dilithium crystals to stabilize them?
Captain, my calculations indicate that it is possible to create a force field around the dilithium crystals. The energy required can be provided by the Endeavor's warp engines.
Lieutenant, open a channel to the planet's leaders.
Channel open, Captain.
This is Captain John Luke Billiard of the USS Endeavor. We have detected a concentration of dilithium crystals on your planet that is causing natural disasters. We believe we can stabilize them with a force field generated by the Endeavor's engines.
Captain Billiard, we thank you for your assistance. Please proceed with your plan.
Mr. Stryker, you were saying earlier that this was a routine mission. But every mission has its own unique challenges. Do not underestimate any situation, no matter how trivial it may seem.
Yes, Captain. You're right. I should not have dismissed your concerns earlier.
Doctor, how are the people on the planet doing now?
Captain, the people on the planet are doing much better. We have treated all their injuries and they are rebuilding their homes and infrastructure.
Ensign, set a course for our next assignment.
Aye, Captain. Course set for Starbase 327.
Counselor, do you have any insight into my contemplation of living in a simulation?
Captain, it is a philosophical question that has no concrete answer. What is important is that we live our lives as if they are real, and cherish every moment.
Thank you all for your hard work and dedication. And a special thank you to Ashmanixis Ilum for sponsoring this episode. Captain's Log, Stardate 45236.3. The Endeavor has been tasked with delivering crucial medical supplies to a Federation outpost on the planet of the Apes. However, upon entering orbit, our ship was struck by an unknown energy surge, causing a crash landing on the planet's surface. We must now focus on repairing the ship and completing our mission, all while navigating the ongoing war between the apes and their human captives.
What's our next move, number 2?
We need to send an away team to survey the surrounding area and assess the damage to the ship.
Beta, you will lead the team and report back with any findings.
Yes, sir. I will also implement a scan to locate the medical supplies and ensure their safe retrieval. Red alert. We are under attack. Repel the assailants. What is the situation here?
We are being held captive by the apes, forced to work in their mines to extract precious resources they use in their war effort. Please, you must help us.
We cannot leave these humans in danger. We will assist them in any way we can. We must take out the guards and secure the supplies quickly.
I am proud of each and every one of you for your bravery and dedication to completing our mission. Set course for the Federation outpost and deliver these vital supplies.
Thank you, Ashmanix Asylum, for sponsoring this episode.
Captain's Log, Stardate 45652.3. The Endeavour is on a routine mission to explore a new sector of space. However, there seems to be a problem among the crew. Presley Usher has been using vulgar language, offending everyone on board the ship. Number 2, I believe we have a problem with Ensign Usher.
What's the problem, Captain?
He's been using inappropriate language. It's become a serious issue.
Presley, Captain Billiard would like to speak with you in his quarters.
Ensign Usher, I have received numerous complaints about your use of foul language. It's unacceptable and needs to stop immediately.
I'm sorry, Captain. I can't help it. It just slips out.
Well, you need to figure it out, Ensign. As punishment, we are going to lock you in a room filled with George's forts until you learn how to control yourself.
Beta, have you seen Presley lately? I haven't heard him swearing as much as he used to.
Yes, George. Presley has been making great progress in controlling his language.
I am glad to see Ensign Usher has made progress in controlling his language.
Yes, it's been a relief not to hear those offensive words. And I'm sure George is glad to have his workshop back to its normal smell.
Captain's Log, Stardate 43779.3. We're on a routine mission to map a section of space when we receive a distress signal from a freighter. Our mission is to investigate and provide assistance if needed.
Captain, I have analyzed the distress signal and have found that it originated from a freighter called the Sea Witch. It appears to be stranded in a nebula not too far from our current position.
Set a course for the location of the Sea Witch, Mr. Beta. Let's see what assistance we can provide.
Captain, the Sea Witch is experiencing a power failure due to a malfunction in their engine. We'll need to bring spare parts over from the ship to fix it.
Very well, Mr. Lafart. Take a team and shuttle over to the Sea Witch with the necessary parts. See what else you can do to help while you're there.
Hello, I'm Chief Engineer Lafart from the USS Endeavour. We are here to help with your engine malfunction.
Thank you so much. We've been stranded here for days. We were transporting a shipment of antique sea shanties when our engine failed. It's been a nightmare trying to entertain ourselves without them.
Antique sea shanties. That's an unusual item to transport. Do you mind if I take a look at them? These are beautiful. I had no idea such things existed. But why were they being transported in the first place?
They're part of a collection of rare artifacts that we were transporting back to Earth. They're worth a fortune.
Mr. Beta set a course back to Earth. I'm afraid we'll have to disappoint the antique collectors who were expecting these sea shanties. We'll have to hold on to them for safekeeping.
Understood, Captain. I have a suggestion. Why don't we create our own sea shanties to pass the time on our journey back to Earth?
An excellent idea, Mr. Beta. Engage. Captain's Log, Stardate 45367.9. We have been tasked with delivering medical supplies to the Vega colony. The journey should take us approximately 2 weeks at maximum warp.
Captain, may I have a word with you in private?
What is it, number 2?
Captain, I've been noticing some strange occurrences on the ship's sensors.
It's nothing major, but it's worrisome.
Some readings seem to be off, and I can't explain why.
What do you suggest we do? Doctor, have you noticed anything unusual about the ship's systems?
No, Captain. Everything seems to be operating normally. Is something wrong?
I'm not sure. Commander Stryker has reported some anomalies in the ship's sensors. I was hoping you might be able to shed some light on the situation. Computer, display all data on our current location and surroundings.
Working. Display complete.
What the hell is going on? This isn't where we're supposed to be. Everyone, stay calm and report any data you can.
Captain, the readings indicate that we are in a computer simulation. It appears that we have been trapped here.
Computer and simulation and return us to our previous location. Well done, everyone. It seems we were caught in a simulation. I must commend each and every one of you for your bravery and quick thinking.
But the question remains, Captain.
Who put us in that simulation, and why?
That remains to be seen, number 2. But one thing is for certain. We must remain vigilant and always be prepared for the unexpected.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's presidential debate. Our candidates are Turd Sandwich and Giant Douche. Let's start with the first question. What is your stance on healthcare reform? You know who doesn't care about healthcare? Giant Douche.
He's a big, fat, stinky turd sandwich.
Oh yeah. Well, at least I don't smell like someone's morning dump.
That's because you are one. Gentlemen, please stick to the topic. What is your plan for healthcare reform?
My opponent here doesn't have a plan. He's just a pile of poop.
That's not true. I have a great plan. It's called Make America Smell Great Again.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
You're dumb. You're a giant turd. Let's move on to the next question. What is your plan for education reform?
My opponent doesn't even know how to read. He's just a big, smelly pile of garbage.
I know how to read, and my plan for education reform is to make everyone read books about how great I am.
Oh yeah, that'll really improve our schools.
Shut up, you stinky tub.
Gentlemen, this is a serious debate. Please show some respect. Of course, Mr. Moderator. And by the way,
have I mentioned that my opponent is a turd sandwich?
Here we go again.
We're running out of time, so let's make this last question count. What is your plan for climate change?
He's the one causing all the pollution. He's a giant, dirty, smelly turd sandwich.
No, you're the one who's causing all the problems. You're a big, fat, disgusting turd sandwich.
That's enough. I'm ending this debate right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a better idea of who you want to vote for after this enlightening discussion. Thank you and good night.
Hey, Benny, have you seen Feldon? I can't seem to find him.
Here, I'm right here. In the kitchen.
Guys, come quick. The girls can't find us.
What? Why do you think that?
I heard them outside talking about it.
Well, we shouldn't be too hard on them. It has been at least a week since we've seen them.
What should we do?
We should hide.
Alright, Feldon, I think we all agree on that.
Guys, climb out the fire escape I saw outside. That way, we can stay away from the girls.
Well, technically we won't be hiding if they can still see us.
Quick, we don't have much time. Let's go. Feldon, I can't believe you still use a flip phone. It's 2021.
I see no reason to upgrade.
It still makes calls, texts, and it has Snake.
But what about all the new features like facial recognition and touch screens?
I don't need facial recognition. I recognize my own face just fine.
What about the latest technology in gaming? You can't play the newest games on a flip phone.
I don't need new games. I still play Snake.
But the camera on my phone takes way better pictures than your flip phone.
I don't need a fancy camera when I have my ITIC memory.
But Feldon, think of all the time you're wasting with your outdated technology.
Time is a social construct. I'll stick with what works for me.
But what if you're in an emergency? You can't even call 911 on a flip phone.
I'll just tell Siri to call 911.
You don't have Siri, Feldon.
Exactly. No need for complicated technology.
I give up. Feldon, you win this round of old school versus new school.
I always win.
Well, I for one am glad I'm a part of the new school.
Me too.
Same here.
Count me in as well.
I'm still team old school.
It's settled then. Old school is the superior choice.
Ok, we're done here. Thank you, everyone, for your input.
Yeah, thanks for the lively debate.
Always fun to argue with you guys.
Till next time.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
And a big thank you to Ashmanixus alum for sponsoring this episode.
Captain's Log, Stardate 46254.1. We have been ordered to investigate a mysterious outbreak of a new type of infection on an alien planet. Dr. Usher will lead the way team to discover what we are dealing with. However, I have received a disturbing report from the ship's medical officer. It appears that Dr. Usher is having some difficulty distinguishing between viruses and bacteria, and she has been sent back to medical school for a refresher course.
Dr. Usher, do you require any assistance with distinguishing between viruses and bacteria?
No, I do not need any assistance, Mr. Beta. I have already completed my refresher course in medical school.
Doctor, we have found some strange markings on these rocks. I think they could be related to the outbreak we are investigating.
It's possible, Lieutenant. Let me take a look at them. Ensign Kim, can you please fetch me a sample of a virus and a bacterium from the storage unit?
Yes, Doctor. Right away. As you can see, viruses are much smaller than bacteria, a host to replicate. Bacteria, on the other hand, can live independently and multiply on their own.
Excuse me, Professor. Could you explain that again? I'm not sure I quite understand.
Certainly, Doctor. Let me give you a more in-depth explanation.
Ensign, thank you for bringing these samples. It appears that the virus we are dealing with is similar to one I studied in medical school. With this information, we may be able to develop a cure.
Doctor, have you made any discoveries about the mysterious outbreak on the planet?
Yes, Captain. It appears to be a new strain of the virus I studied in medical school. With the samples we've obtained, we may be able to develop a cure.
I would like to take a moment to thank InfiniTV for sponsoring this episode of Space Ride TIG. Their support makes it possible for us to continue exploring the final frontier.
Captain's Log, Supplemental. Thanks to Dr. Usher's expertise and knowledge, we were able to find a cure for the virus and save countless lives. Our mission was a success, and we will continue exploring the galaxy with confidence and determination.
Good evening, and welcome to the debate between a turd sandwich and a giant douche. Don't call me that.
Well, you are what you eat.
Oh, real mature.
Now, the first question goes to the turd sandwich.
If you were a space ride character, who would you be? I don't know, Captain Crunch.
More like Lieutenant Love.
Oh yeah? Well, at least I'm not a Klingon wannabe like you.
Hey, I'll have you know I'm more of a Cardassian.
Let's stay on the topic, please. Now, giant douche, what type of board game do you think Captain Billiard would invent in Space Ride?
Obviously, a game where the only objective is to eat as many replicated desserts as possible.
That's ridiculous. Billiard would invent a game where you have to recite Shakespearean sonnets while doing yoga.
Oh please, the only reason you think that is because you've never read a Shakespeare play in your life.
That's not true. I've read all of the sonnets.
Let's move on to our audience questions. Yes, you in the Pikachu costume, what's your question?
Pika Pika.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Pikachu.
Let me handle this.
He's asking what our favorite type of cheese is.
That's not what he's saying. He's asking us to sing the prop.
Please, let's keep this professional. And now, Ted Sandwich, if you were a type of sandwich, what would you be?
Probably a BLT.
More like a PB&J with extra mayo.
I don't even think that's a real thing.
Unfortunately, we're out of time. But before we go, I want to thank our sponsor, Pickles and Cheese, for making this debate possible.
You're welcome. And remember, if you're looking for the perfect snack, there's nothing better than pickles and cheese.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this historic presidential debate between a turd sandwich and a giant douche. Let's get started with a question that's been on everyone's mind. If you were stranded on a deserted island and could only bring one item, what would it be?
Well, obviously, I would bring my giant douche bit so I could clean up any messes that my opponent might make.
Oh yeah. Well, I would bring a loaf of bread so I could make some tasty poop sandwiches.
Oh well.
Moving right along, what's your favorite dinosaur?
I like the Stegosaurus because it's got those cool plates on its back.
It's like a walking sushi platter.
I prefer the T-Rex because it's a total badass. Just like me.
Speaking of badasses, what's your favorite action movie?
Obviously, Die Hard. It's a classic.
No, man. I got to go with Dirty Dancing. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
What?
Alright, let's get a bit more serious now. Can you tell us your position on the legalization of marijuana?
Oh, I am definitely in favor of it. In fact, I have a whole line of edibles called Anid sandwiches. They're the
No way, man. Legalizing marijuana is a slippery slope. Next thing you know, people will be smoking crack and huffing glue.
Dude, that's already happening. Where have you been?
Alright, let's take a question from the audience. Sir, what's your question?
Yeah, Pie. I wanna know. Can you make a sandwich out of a giant douche?
Hey, watch it, buddy. I am not sandwich material.
Yeah, he's more like a full-on hot dog. A really expensive one that nobody wants to eat.
Alright, that's enough. I think we've seen all we need to see here tonight. Thank you to our esteemed candidates, and thank you to our sponsor, Ashnix Asylum, for making this possible.
Annoys everyone.
Hey Feldon, what do you think of my new outfit?
If I had to pick a word to describe it, it would be interesting.
Interesting. That's one way of putting it.
I think it looks great.
Thanks, Rajit.
Hey Feldon, look who else stopped by.
Oh my goodness, it's an elf.
It's not an elf, it's my cousin Sanjay.
He looks like an elf.
You guys stop.
Hi, nice to meet you all.
Captain's Log, Stardate 49578.3. The Endeavour is currently en route to the Twitch system, where we hope to establish diplomatic and trade relations with the inhabitants of Twitch III. Our mission is one of peaceful exploration and cooperation. Beard out.
Captain, we have just received a distress signal from the USS Endeavour. They are under attack from an unknown alien vessel in the Twitch system.
Red alert. Helm, set course for the Twitch system. Tactical charge weapons. Beta, can you establish a communication link with Endeavour?
Captain, I have established a communication link with Endeavour. Their captain reports that they are under heavy fire and require immediate assistance.
On screen. This is Captain Billiard of the USS Endeavour. We are on our way to assist you, Endeavour.
Thank you, Captain. Our shields are failing and our weapons are offline. We appreciate your prompt response.
Mr. Daniels, target the alien vessel and fire at will.
Aye, Captain. Firing phasers and photon torpedoes.
Captain, I have analyzed the alien vessel's shield frequencies. If we modulate our weapons to match those frequencies, we should be able to penetrate their defenses.
Do it, Beta.
Captain, we have received a transmission from the alien vessel. They are demanding that we withdraw from the Twitch system or face total annihilation.
Tell them that we will not be intimidated. Endeavour, do you have any data on this alien race?
None, Captain. They appeared suddenly and without warning.
What happened, Mr. Daniels?
I'm not sure, Captain. It looks like the alien ship's power core overloaded.
Scan the area for any survivors.
Negative, Captain. There are no life signs on the alien vessel.
Are you all right, Endeavour?
We're fine, Captain. Thank you for your assistance.
Can you give us any insight into what just happened?
I'm not sure, Captain. It was almost like the alien ship destroyed itself.
Captain, I have detected an anomaly in the Twitch system. It appears to be a massive energy field emitting a frequency that matches the destroyed alien vessel's shields. Set a course for the energy field, maximum warp. Beta Worm, you're with me. Mr. Orion, beam us down. Captain, this appears to be a research facility. There are signs of recent activity.
Captain, I am detecting life signs inside.
Captain, this must be the source of the energy field. It is emitting a frequency that matches the destroyed alien vessel's shields.
Captain, sensors are picking up the massive energy buildup inside the sphere. It will explode in approximately 2 minutes.
Can we disable it, Beta?
Negative, Captain. The energy field is too powerful to disrupt without causing a catastrophic chain reaction.
Is there any way we can contain the explosion?
There is a set of energy inhibitors on the far side of the room. If we can activate them, they should stabilize the energy field and prevent the explosion.
Endeavour, this is the Endeavour. We are detecting a massive energy surge from the Twitch system. What is happening down there? Endeavour, we have successfully contained the energy field. It was the source of the alien vessel's shields and it was on the verge of exploding, which would have destroyed the Twitch system.
Captain, we owe you a debt of gratitude. You saved our lives and the lives of everyone in the Twitch system.
It was the least we could do, Endeavour. Billiard out.
Captain, I have gathered enough data to theorize that this research facility belonged to an ancient civilization that perished in this system long ago. Their experiments with energy fields and shields must have led to the creation of the structure we found today.
Destroying the alien vessel must have triggered the energy field's self-destruct mechanism. It was on the verge of destroying the entire area of Twitch.
Captain, it is moments like this that remind us of the importance of our mission. By exploring the unknown, we can prevent disaster and make the universe a safer place.
Well said, Mr. Worm. Let's go home.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the presidential debate between our two candidates, Turd Sandwich and Giant Douche.
Let's start with the first question. What is your plan to boost the economy?
Well, let me tell you something, folks.
I have the best plan to boost the economy.
I have a very beautiful plan, a tremendous plan, believe me.
Oh, please. Everyone knows your plan is a load of crap. You're a turd sandwich, for crying out loud.
Who are you calling a turd sandwich? You're the one who's a giant douche.
Gentlemen, let's stick to the question, please.
I mean, look at you. You're nothing but a pile of excrement.
Hey, watch your mouth, you dirty giant douche.
Alright, that's enough. Let's move on to the next question. What is your stance on healthcare reform?
Oh, I'm sure Turd Sandwich here has a brilliant plan for healthcare reform.
I do have a brilliant plan, but I'm not going to waste my breath on someone who's nothing but a stinky giant douche.
Oh, spare me. Your plan probably involves more poop and less healthcare.
How dare you?
You're the one who's full of crap. Gentlemen, this is a serious topic. Please give us your thoughts on healthcare reform.
Yes, let's hear what the Turd Sandwich has to say about healthcare. I'm sure it's very insightful.
My plan is very insightful. But you wouldn't know that, you filthy giant douche.
Alright, that's enough.
It seems we're not going to get any serious answers tonight.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your time.
Hey, Feldon, have you seen my glasses?
Not on this plane of existence, no.
Guys, have you seen my laptop? It's not working properly. I can't get the cursor to stop twitching.
I always find it difficult to take your problem seriously when all you need is a steady hand.
Ugh, I'm getting a twitch in my eye.
You know what they say, if you can't beat your Twitch, join it.
Maybe it's from staring at the computer screen too long.
I thought of getting Feldon one of those anti-glare covers.
How would that prevent my twitching?
I'm sure Ratchet's laptop isn't the only twitchy thing in the room.
Ooh, what about Feldon's foot?
How does that relate to my supposed twitching foot?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, you've been tapping your foot since we've been in here.
I can assure you, this is not my foot twitching. It's my internal metronome, keeping perfect time.
Begin Captain's Log, Stardate 47198.1. The Endeavour is on a routine mission when we received a distress signal and diverted to the Endeavour.
What happened last night? Why are we here?
I don't know, but I don't feel so good. And why are we both naked?
I have no idea. Let's find out what happened.
George, what happened to the Endeavour? And what is going on in the cargo bay?
Sorry, Captain. I was trying to create a time portal, but I accidentally created a time fart.
A time fart.
Yes, sir. It sucked Lenny and Benny into the future, but I didn't mean to take them all the way to the Endeavor. And Beta can only say so rude.
Can you reverse the effects and bring them back?
I'll try my best, sir. But it might take some time.
I don't understand any of this. Why did George create a time portal in the first place?
I don't know, but I need to go to sickbay. I don't feel well at all.
It seems like you have some sort of space virus. I'll give you something to help.
Report, George. Can you bring them back?
Yes, Captain. Transfer is complete. They're back on the Endeavor.
Are you okay? How are you feeling?
Much better. But I don't think I'll ever forget this trip.
Neither will I, but at least we have a good story to tell.
So rude.
Begin recording. Captain's log, stardate 45587.6. We are currently on course to investigate a distress signal from a nearby planet. However, as we approach the coordinates, we have encountered an unexpected obstacle. Report number 2.
Captain, we have identified the obstruction as the wreckage of the Hindenburg II.
Yes, sir. It appears to have crashed into the ship, causing extensive damage to several decks.
Set up a team to investigate the Hindenburg wreckage. We need to find out what caused this collision.
George, have you discovered anything unusual in the ship's logs leading up to the collision?
Actually, I have. There seems to have been an energy surge right before impact. It caused the ship's systems to go haywire.
Interesting. Let's see if we can track the source of this energy surge.
This wreckage is giving off some strange readings. It's almost as if it were alive.
I sense a strong presence of fear and anxiety. It seems to be coming from the wreckage itself.
Look at this. The energy surge seems to originate from this part of the wreckage.
Number 2. What have you discovered?
Sir, the energy surge was caused by a malfunction in the Hindenburg's engines. It created a temporal rift that caused the ship to crash into us at a different point in time.
The feelings of anxiety and fear were echoes from the past. They were imprinted onto the wreckage, and we sensed them as if they were happening now.
Fascinating. Set a course to close the rift and restore the timeline. Captain's log, supplemental. The Hindenburg wreckage has been safely removed and the timeline has been restored. I must admit this was one of the most unusual situations we have ever encountered. Nonetheless, we carry on with our mission, ready for whatever challenges come our way.
Good evening, America, and welcome to the presidential debate between our two esteemed candidates, Turd Sandwich and Giant Douche. Tonight we will be discussing the important topic of space exploration. Let's start with Turd Sandwich. What is your opinion on Billiard's command of the USS Endeavour?
Who is Billiard? Is he some kind of sandwich?
Obviously, he's a giant douchebag just like you.
Moving on. Giant douche, if elected, how will you fund a mission to Mars?
By selling turd sandwich used toilet paper, of course.
Hey, at least I have a digestive system.
You're just a big, wet sponge.
Let's stay on topic, gentlemen. Turd Sandwich, can you describe the ideal spaceship for exploring the cosmos?
It should be made of high-quality toilet paper with a state-of-the-art bided system.
You would know all about that bided system, wouldn't you?
Okay, let's hear from the audience. Mom, you have a question.
Yes, hi. I want to know, are you two single?
Well, Turd Sandwich is currently in a committed relationship with a roll of toilet paper, but I'm flattered by your interest.
I'm married to my work, ma'am. Unlike Turd Sandwich, I take my job seriously.
And on that note, we are out of time.
Thank you to our candidates, Turd Sandwich and Giant Douche, for joining us tonight. And a special thanks to InfiniTV for sponsoring this debate.
Good night, America.
Hey Feldon, you can't just order us around all the time.
Why not?
Yeah, you look out for us, but you don't own us.
Speak for yourself, Radjit.
This is ridiculous. I always do what is best for the group.
That's true, but sometimes it's nice to just listen to what people want and not always be the one making the decisions.
Exactly.
Hey, how about we do what Feldon says one time and see if it works out?
I suppose that could be agreeable.
Begin recording. Captain's log, stardate 45652.3. We have received an ancient text from an unknown source, which appears to be a prophecy of sorts.
Have either of you had a chance to analyze the text?
Well, we've been going through it, but it's all in a language we've never seen before. It's going to take a while to decipher.
Captain, the text appears to be a prophecy about a world without Captain Hook. It says that if Captain Hook had never existed, the world would be very different.
Can you give us some examples of what it says?
Certainly, Captain. It says that Peter Pan would have never defeated Hook, and that Wendy, John, and Michael would have never returned to London. It also says that the imagination of children would be much different without the character of Captain Hook.
Captain, we've been able to translate some of the text. It appears to be a warning about tampering with historical events. It says that even the smallest changes in the past can have catastrophic consequences in the future.
Perhaps we should investigate this further. Mr. Beta, can you find out more about the origin of this text?
Of course, Captain. George, I have found something interesting. The text is not from any known civilization in our galaxy. It appears to be from a planet in a neighboring galaxy.
Can we make contact with this planet?
Yes, Captain. Their planet is located near the edge of their galaxy, but we should be able to establish a connection with their communication system.
Greetings, I am Captain John Luke Billiard of the USS Endeavour. We have received an ancient text from your planet. Can you tell us more about it?
I am Zoran of the Karaman people. The text you received is an ancient warning about altering the course of events. Our people learned this lesson the hard way.
What happened?
Many years ago, we had a great leader who made the mistake of changing a small event in our history. As a result, our planet was destroyed.
The text also speaks of a world without Captain Hook. Can you tell us more about this?
Yes. Captain Hook was a character in our folklore. He was a great villain who challenged the hero, Peter Pan. Without his presence, our people believe that our culture would not be the same.
George, I believe I have found something. The text is not a warning, but a challenge. It is a challenge to change something in our history, to see what the consequences will be.
What should we change?
I believe we should attempt to remove the character of Captain Hook from the original story of Peter Pan. We can use our holodeck to simulate the story without him.
The simulation is ready. Let's begin.
This is strange. I don't feel like I have a purpose without Captain Hook to defeat. Perhaps we can find another villain for you to defeat, Peter. I don't like this. This feels wrong, like something terrible is going to happen.
Computer and simulation.
Captain, the simulation has confirmed the Karaman text. Even the smallest changes to history can have unforeseen and catastrophic consequences.
Thank you all for your hard work, and thank you to Shinazuka for sponsoring this episode.
Let me tell you something, folks. I'm not a turd sandwich. My opponent is the turd sandwich.
He smells like a garbage dump in July.
That's rich coming from someone who smells like a sewage treatment plant.
Okay, let's stick to the question, please. What is your position on climate change?
I'll tell you my position on climate change. It's fake news, folks. The weather is always changing.
It's been happening for millions of years.
The climate's not changing, it's just cold outside.
That's ridiculous. We need to take immediate action to address climate change. We need to reduce carbon emissions and invest in renewable energy.
Oh, here we go with the liberal hippie nonsense.
You're just trying to take away our jobs and destroy the economy.
I'm not trying to destroy anything. I'm trying to save the planet.
You're just trying to get the votes of the tree-hugging, granola-eating, tofu-loving crowd.
Gentlemen, please. Let's move on to the next question. What is your plan for healthcare reform?
My opponent is a giant douche. He doesn't even know what healthcare is. I, on the other hand, have a beautiful plan for healthcare. It's tremendous, it's fantastic. Everyone will love it.
That's not an answer. What is your plan?
My plan is to make healthcare great again.
We're going to repeal Obamacare and replace it with something even better.
And what would that be?
I'm not going to reveal my secret plan to you.
You're just going to steal it and take all the credit.
I'm not going to steal your non-existent plan. You don't have one.
That's a lie. My plan is tremendous, and everyone's going to love it.
Okay, let's move on to our final question.
What is your stance on immigration? I'll tell you my stance on immigration. We need to build a big, beautiful wall to keep all the bad hombres out.
That's not a solution. We need to have a fair and just immigration policy that welcomes people from all over the world.
You're just a bleeding heart liberal who wants to turn America into a third world country.
That's not true. I want to make America great by embracing diversity and inclusivity.
You're just a giant douche who doesn't know anything about anything.
Good evening, America. I'm here to ask the tough questions and get to the bottom of who should be the next president. Let's get started with the first question. Turd sandwich, what is your favorite color?
Excuse me, what?
Typical turd sandwich, avoiding the tough questions. My favorite color is red, by the way.
Well, that's very enlightening, giant douche. Did you come up with that all by yourself?
Hey, at least I didn't come up with the name turd sandwich.
Gentlemen, please, let's focus on the issues. Turd sandwich, can you tell us your opinion on standardized testing?
Oh, sure. Let's talk about the thrilling topic of standardized testing. You know what? I think all tests should be multiple choice. It's easier that way.
Of course you would say that, turd sandwich. You probably cheated your way through school.
How dare you? I'll have you know I have a fin in something.
Okay, let's move on to a question from our audience. Yes, you there, in the ridiculous hat. What's your question for the candidates?
Yeah, my question is, if you were a superhero, what would be your superpower?
Seriously. Look, if I were a superhero, my superpower would be the ability to erase stupid questions from people's minds.
Typical turd sandwich, afraid to answer a real question. You know what my superpower would be? The ability to turn crap into gold.
That's appropriate.
Because that's what your campaign promises are, just a bunch of crap.
Okay. Let's keep it clean, gentlemen. Now, in 20 seconds or less, can each of you sum up your stance on education?
Education is important, yada yada yada, blah blah blah.
My opponent is a poopyhead, and I'll do a better job.
And there you have it, folks. We'll be back after this commercial break. Stay tuned.
This North Peak episode is brought to you by Ashmani of Sicilian. Thank you for your support and for helping us continue to bring you quality programming.
Well, there you have it, folks. I don't think we learned much tonight, but we did have a good laugh. Join us next week for another exciting episode of North Peak.
Feldon, you can't wear that to the holiday party.
Why not?
Because it's a Batman costume.
Of course it is. What did you expect me to dress up as?
I think a Superman costume would suit you better.
Why would I be Superman?
Because Superman is an alien and you're Feldon Hooker, alien to the core.
Actually, I think Feldon should go as the Flash.
Why the Flash?
Because you're really fast at solving riddles and puzzles.
Me isn't convinced. Flash it is. Shall we go?
Sure, let's go before you find another superhero costume you like more.
Begin Captain's Log. Stardate 45736.2. We are en route to the Epsilon system where we will be conducting negotiations with the Kornic race. However, our mission is being compromised by an issue aboard the ship. Lieutenant Worm, our chief tactical officer, appears to be neglecting his responsibilities due to an addiction to a game on the holodeck. This is unacceptable and I must address the issue before it puts our mission at risk. Yes, Captain.
Is Lieutenant Worm available for a meeting with me in the observation lounge in 10 minutes?
Thank you, make it so. Lieutenant, we need to talk. I understand that you have been spending a great deal of time on the holodeck playing Final Fantasy.
Yes, Captain. It is a game that challenges me and allows me to temporarily escape the stresses of my duties.
That may be true, but it is interfering with your responsibilities. You are neglecting your duties and this cannot continue. I am ordering you to discontinue your game and focus on your duties.
Understood, Captain. End program. Computer end program. What is going on? Why won't the game end?
Unknown. The program has malfunctioned and I am unable to terminate it.
Is there anyone who can help me?
InfiniTV is an expert in holodeck programming. Would you like me to contact them?
Yes, please do.
I see what's happening. The program has been corrupted by a virus. I can fix it, but it will take some time.
Do what you need to do. I just need to get out of here.
Initiate quarantine protocol for Holodeck 2. Keep all other crew members away and monitor for any possible contagion. Acknowledged.
I want to apologize for my behavior, Captain. I realize now that my addiction was not only affecting my work but also put the safety of the entire crew at risk.
Apology accepted, Lieutenant. I am just grateful that Ensign Tia MRI was able to fix the issue and that we can continue our mission.
Yes, Captain. I will make sure that this never happens again.
I trust that you will. Dismissed.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode of Space Ride, TIG, brought to you by TMRI. Thank you for watching.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2024 presidential debate. Our two candidates tonight are the turd sandwich and the giant douche. Let's begin. Turd sandwich, how do you plan to improve the economy?
Look, I'm not a turd sandwich. That's just slander from my opponent over here. Giant douche is the real turd sandwich. I mean, have you smelled him lately? It's atrocious.
Oh, please. You're the turd sandwich here, turd sandwich. Everyone knows it. And by the way, your mama's so fat she needs 2 airplane seats.
Gentlemen, please stick to the topic at hand. Turd sandwich, what about healthcare reform?
Healthcare? Don't even get me started. Giant douche is the one who needs to see a doctor. He's got all kinds of diseases, I hear.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're so stupid you think a quarterback is a refund. And you're so ugly when you were born the doctor slapped your mother.
Gentlemen, this is not productive. Let's talk about national security.
National security? You mean like protecting our country from giant douche stinky armpits? That's a real threat if you ask me.
Hey, at least I don't have flies buzzing around me all the time. And your face is so ugly, you put that in ugly.
I'm afraid we're out of time. Thank you to our candidates for a very informative debate. Alright, I might as well admit it, my mother never got me tested.
Really?
Yes.
That's wild.
But why did she never get you tested?
I suppose it just seemed too ordinary.
Wow, you could have been a genius the whole time.
Well, either way, you're still special.
That's true. There's no one quite like you, Feldon.
Locate Commander Beta.
Greetings, I am Heisenberg. Are you ready to try my latest creation?
Good evening, and welcome to this historic presidential debate. Our candidates tonight are the turd sandwich and the giant douche. We'll start with a simple question: cats or dogs?
Well, obviously dogs. Any sane individual knows that cats are just tiny demons waiting to strike.
That's ridiculous. Clearly, cats are superior. They're independent, graceful, and they don't slobber all over you.
Oh yeah, well at least dogs don't shit hair everywhere and scare the bejesus out of you in the middle of the night.
Hey, you watch your mouth. Dogs are loyal and loving creatures who wouldn't dream of stealing someone's visor to turn it into a saucy toy.
And I suppose you've never done anything shady in your life. Please, you're a giant dead shibik.
You got a lot of nerve, Mr. Turd Sandwich. At least I don't smell like crap all the time.
Okay, let's move on. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
The ability to make people instantly forget about their exes.
Can you imagine the possibilities?
I'd want the power of teleportation. No more traffic jams or long TSA lines for me, baby.
Yeah, because disappearing into thin air is totally normal. You must be a real hit with the ladies.
Don't talk to me about ladies, Mr. Turd. I've seen your internet search history.
Hey, I'll have you know that I was researching the best way to clean a microwave. Thank you very much.
Alright, we're running out of time. Let's get a question from the audience. Yes, you in the front row.
Yes. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is brown, obviously.
Blue, obviously. Because I'm such a freaking giant blue douche.
And we're out of time. Thank you all for watching, and a special thank you to Ashmex Silum for sponsoring this episode.
Feldon, please. You can't just leave every party you go to.
I don't understand why not. You boys have fun.
Feldon, come on. We just got here.
No, I'm serious. I'm not interested in staying. I don't enjoy parties.
What's wrong with parties?
I find them dull and loud.
Well, what would you rather be doing?
I would prefer to watch another Cosmos.
That's okay, we can watch it together.
Alright.
Yeah, sounds like good plan.
Alright then, let's watch Cosmos. Captain, have you noticed anything different about yourself lately?
No, Commander. Why do you ask?
Well, it's just that you seem to be lacking a certain